Yo, what's going on, Bills Mafia? It's your boy Julian J Mafia, and as always, I got big cuz Pedro BZ in the building. And you are watching Mafia Talk. How you feeling tonight, cuz?
Feeling pretty good. Hopefully the internet's fixed this time around.
Oh yeah, you looking real good. You nice and smooth. You not glitching, my man, right there. You ain't
Yo,
crazy.
if for whatever reason I glitch out, man, I'm just gonna let y'all know I'm not gonna keep trying to get back in because I feel like that kind of messed everything up yesterday. So
all good, cuz I'm glad to have you in here because we got a big MegaPod. We got some heavy hitters in the building, man.
I'm excited. We excited.
Hell yeah, we're gonna let this shit roll. First and foremost, we're gonna introduce the king himself, my big dog over here, JSpenceTheKing. How you feeling tonight, man?
What's going on, y'all, man? I appreciate y'all having me on, man. I've been waiting for he hit me up like yo, would you mind? Yo, just tell me when, man. You family. Just tell me when.
I love it.
Another real one over here. We got Estell, the queen, in the building, and as always, we love to have you on the show. How you feeling tonight?
I'm good. What's up? How's everybody doing?
We good. Ready to make this run.
Tell me about it, man. And I got my other brother in the building as well, Sterling Furrowh, man. How you doing tonight?
You know, you say the best for last, but you know what? T takes the cake tonight, man. She's the goat up in here. You know what I'm saying?
That's the queen. That's the queen.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So before we get started, I want everybody to properly introduce yourselves. Let everybody know how they can find you, where you represent. Let's start off with the queen down here, Estell.
Well, I'm on building Buffalo Network. I have a pod over there. Not Your Average Podcast, and it's at 16 with Mike. And I also have a pod with Robin. It's Tea Time with Robin. We drop Tea Time with Robin on Fridays. I drop Not Your Average Pod on Saturdays.
So let's get it. Sterl for the girls. Tell the people how they can find you.
Yo, right there on Buffalo Rumblings, VidCast feed. You know, the chop ups on Tuesday night, and then I do the post game show after every Bills game. So yeah, you can find me at Buffalo Rumblings.
Definitely a good listen over there. Him and Bro Poe, they definitely be spinning facts over there, man. Definitely a good listen, everybody. And nonetheless, the king himself. Tell the people how they can find you.
Hey man, don't be capping for our bro Poe. He be trash, man. His takes be terrible. They be terrible. Now I'm just messing with you. Shout out to my man.
I love it. Y'all be getting it in though.
You know what I'm saying? He be trying to act tough too. I be having to check him. That's my boy though. But no, you can find me on Twitter at JSpenceTheKing, and then like Sterl said, with Buffalo Rumblings, man, we're a big family over there. We try to spread love to everybody though. So go ahead and support that Built in Buffalo network. Go ahead and keep supporting this Mafia Talk. And then everybody that's doing it, man. It's a lot of good content out right now with the Buffalo Bills. It's a good time to be a Bills fan because it's a good time to get educated, man. It's a lot of us out here.
We definitely going through some rough times at the moment, but like they could just say, let's make this run. Let's get back to where we belong. And stop letting these Dolphins acting like they this and they that and they run shit. Man, y'all don't run nothing. Y'all can play around for now, but soon Daddy gonna be back. So let's get we got my brother in the building as well. Hefe bossed up. Please go check his music out. Nothing but love, nothing but great music over here. Let's get it. So, guys, let's get this started off. Big Cuz said it himself. Bills need to make a run. We haven't been looking too good this season. The biggest question I want to ask everybody, because last year we only had, 3 losses, total of 8 points we lost in the whole entire season. And then come by season, week 13, and we already down 6. So how do we go from 3 losses one season, 6 losses this season, and kind of a bit of a mess? So let's start with Big Cuz. What can you make of it? What's the difference?
Honestly, for me, man, it's not much of a difference. It's just a play here and a play there. Last year, we got those plays in 3 of those games.
Right.
I mean, I have my thoughts on McDermott. I don't know if we're going to get into that later, but it just seems like maybe 3 weeks too late before we fired Dorsey. For me, I just felt like something's been off this whole season with them. And I don't know if it's in the locker room or what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but they just all year we just haven't looked like the same Buffalo Bills team that we've seen for the last couple years, in my opinion.
Right.
In my opinion.
How you feeling? How you feeling about this season compared to last?
Yeah, no, I'm agreeing. You know, I think everything that we just heard is right. You know, you look at everything that we complained about. Last year I complained about Gabe Davis. This year I'm complaining about Gabe Davis. It's the same thing. I don't think really that we're looking at anything new besides the run game, and I think that is a positive step forward. We finally have a run game that can complement Josh Allen. The only difference is now they handcuff Josh Allen to where now the thing that if he would have had this type of run game, the seasons where he has 600 and 700 yards rushing for the season, we would have been cooking. Everybody would have been happy. And so right now, like he said, I just think that it's some plays that didn't go our way. It's some big injuries that we got guys that's out for the season that, we really, honestly, if you go back and you look at the amount of time since Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane has been here, we've been relatively healthy. The reason why Cole Beasley was talking about why he loved the facilities in Buffalo is because of what those facilities did for the players' bodies and how they kept you kind of ahead of the game. And this year, it ain't the ball ain't bouncing that way for us. It's a real ugly situation when it comes to injuries. I'm happy that this week for the guys that are active, the injury report looks good, but
Yes.
but man, it's this year it hasn't been nice to us at all.
Nah, I agree with you 100%. Sterls, how you feeling about this season compared to last?
Cool. So this is what I'll tell you. This season is two words, Sean McDermott. I felt like Sean McDermott has been feeling the pressure of the media, of failed expectations. And you see a head coach who took over the defense. He didn't have to do that. He could have hired a defensive coordinator.
Right.
And he has this old school mentality of what he thinks the Bills' offense is and who he is as a defensive coordinator. When you have Joe Brady, who's a much better offensive coordinator than Ken Dorsey, and I think you have to read the room, right? Like, they made Leslie Frazier a scapegoat. They made Ken Dorsey a scapegoat, although he wasn't performing. I think it comes down to a little bit of injuries, but I feel like defensive-minded coaches or good coaches in general overcome injuries. You can overcome them, right? We see that each and every week in the NFL. I just feel like it's the perfect storm for the Buffalo Bills. You
Right.
had a very lackluster end of last season, and you have this idea that you could just run it back with the same people necessarily in key positions. So I think in many ways Sean McDermott has failed the team from a defensive standpoint, how he situationally in the end of games, and then when I say read the room, you have Josh Allen, who's
right there. I'm sorry to cut you off, but we're gonna talk about McDermott. I just want to get what's the difference between the two seasons, because we're gonna get through McDermott.
It's failed expectations. It's as simple as that. Failed.
Now let me ask you before we get to T, because we all talk about the injuries, McDermott and Dorsey. I mean, which one was more? Was it more Dorsey? Was it more on injuries? Is it really just on McDermott because you are the head coach?
Let me go real quick.
Go ahead, guys.
I gotta say this. We say what we can say about McDermott. With the injuries on defense, I feel like he's doing a great job in certain spots with the injuries on defense, but it's just those clutch moments. Like in Philadelphia, you call a timeout to ice a kicker on a 59-yard field goal when you should have just let him rush out there and try to kick it. You know what I'm saying? You could have, or you keep those timeouts in 20 seconds. We've seen it done before. You know what I mean? And Josh was hot. Like, it's just decisions like that. As far as Ken Dorsey, it was time. It was time. We've seen it from the beginning of the season. Like, hindsight's 2020, obviously, but you could tell, but from the beginning of the season, something wasn't right.
Right. Did you mind? My bad for cutting you off, Sterls. Did you?
No, you good. You good.
You want to finish that off, or want to pass it to T?
Nah, pass it to T, baby.
All right, go ahead, Queen. How you feel about what we doing this season compared to what we did last season, and what's the difference, pretty much?
I think the fact that we rolled over, like all of you guys said. I mean, you never want to go into a new season with old baggage, and I feel like that last game was maybe an indicator of how maybe this season would go. I would have never thought we would be 6-6 right now at this time. Never. If you told me we were 6-6, somebody's down. Josh is down. Something is happening. I would have never thought at this particular time, going into December, playing December football, we would be 6-6. This whole offseason, I said, is this play defensive calling for Sean McDermott be a little bit too much? And you can kind of see he's a little overwhelmed. He's a little overwhelmed. He has people in the room. I mean, I don't know why he doesn't want to hand it off to
Eric Washington.
Eric Washington, or was it Ellen L. Holcomb, right? You can hand it off to whoever.
Anybody, but he took it upon himself, thinking he could balance the two. And that was my biggest question. I was calling WGR every other day, constantly asking him what would be the difference, or what are we going to see with McDermott being head coach and defensive coordinator. And when it came up to these big games, kind of answered my question where when I asked WGR, I said, when it comes to these big decisions, whose choice will it be? Obviously, he's still head coach, but you're so wrapped up in the defense and this big game, big calls to second, third. Who makes those calls? Will it be Dorsey that will make that Eagles game call if he was still here? To make those type of calls where do we go for it? Do we kneel? And like T just kind of said that he's balancing too much. He's being overwhelmed.
I think 13-3 just masked the problem that we had.
Yeah.
13-3 just masked the problem that we had. Our play caller was what it was.
Okay.
So.
But since we got a lot to say about McDermott, let's just shift right into it. And my biggest question, how hot is McDermott's seat? Everybody's asking for him to get fired. Everybody said the seat's burning. He needs to go. We got to fire him now. I don't think that's the answer. My personal opinion, I don't think he's going anywhere. Even next year, his heat is definitely hot, especially coming into next year. Expectations are even higher. This is his first down season, so it is what it is. He got a bunch of scapegoats. He fired who he had to fire. Let's move on. Now it's on McDermott. And real quick, shout out to Slim Brady, my boy Jim Brady over there doing big things. He definitely turned his Bills team around. But when it comes back to McDermott, how hot is his seat? Actually, let's go with T. How you feel how McDermott's seat is? What is his future with the Bills?
I think his seat is hot, but I also think that he'll get a pass because of the fact of the injuries that they've had. They had 3 levels of defense has been this Bills team has been affected by. But personally, I wouldn't care. But at a standpoint, you look at that, you're like, okay, you didn't have these guys, so maybe it would have been your season would have turned around. But I'm also too of the mindset everybody can't go. Sean got us to a place. Now, you know what? Thank you for your service. You're not going to be losing any money. You're going to be fine. See you later. And I'm sorry if that's harsh, whatever, but I want a Super Bowl in Buffalo, period. And if that causes you to be gone, then it causes you to be gone. I mean, the locker room is not lost. He still has a locker room.
The fan base is kind of lost.
Yeah, I mean, the fan base is the fan base. You know what I'm saying? We're going to say what we want to say. But in that locker room, as long as they still believe in him, we can say whatever we want.
Okay. Sturls, how you feeling? What's up with McDermott?
As much as I want McDermott to go, I just feel like I don't feel like, the front office is going to make a move to get rid of him. You heard the report. They're saying, they're very much still in cahoots with Sean McDermott. So I feel like he's going to be here for the next few years. The thing about it is, though, you don't expect the Bills to be in this position, right? Very much longer, right? They can even make the playoffs this year. So I think he'll still be around for a while.
All right. Spence, how you feeling, man? What's up with McDermott and how hot is the seat?
I agree with what T and what Strohs have said so far. I just think that, the fan base, we're emotional on a week-to-week basis. And, we're upset when we lose, whether it's we lose against the best record in the league or whether we lose to the worst team in our division. We're emotional on a week-to-week basis. But what it comes down to is that the ownership, they look at the fact that this has been the most successful run that we've had since the early 90s. The team, if we miss the playoffs this year, this will only be the second time in 8 years that Sean McDermott has missed the playoffs. That's pretty successful. So I don't think his seat is hot really at all when it comes down to really his job being on the line. I think to us, again, the media and the fans and the podcasters and that, we gonna talk that talk. Like, man, it's time to get you up out of here. But his seat isn't high. And I did want to say one thing to something that T said earlier. She said being 6-6, you would expect like, okay, something happened to Josh, something that happened. The only thing that I would debate is on the defensive side, Daquan Jones was playing like he's playing like Aaron Donald level. And then you
Yeah.
got Matt Milano playing like
Yeah.
Matt Milano level. You know what I'm saying? So like you got two dudes, like basically two of the most important pieces on your defense gone. So when we have these moments when the defense gives up points at again, the Eagles overtime, you give up, we can't stop them in the fourth. You're missing Matt Milano. That's when you can see tangible evidence that, man, we really miss Matt Milano. You see those runs up the middle from Jalen Hurts. That's when you see Daquan Jones would have really stuffed the middle on that play.
Right.
That's when you see it.
Absolutely, but I'd also want to get back to last year. We also dealt with a big injury towards the defense, did we not? Well, we was riddled with injury last year. I mean, Trey White came towards the end of the season, was it not? Or no? Yeah, and then Von Miller with his season,
Daquan was hurt all year last year too.
Yeah, and then what? Ed Oliver, wasn't he lingering with an injury as well last year? I remember last year, Mike Hyde was out for the season. He was relying on DeMar Hamlin, so we also dealt with a lot of injuries last year as well. So
we
I
also
feel like
had an easier schedule, coach. You know what I mean? Like if you go back and look at it, like this year and like now, the run that we about to go on now is about to be brutal. Be like this is a brutal run that we about to go on. Last year we didn't have this. Like we were looking forward to the Cincinnati game. Like oh man, now this is the test, and we didn't pass it. But
right. No, I feel you. Cuz your thoughts on McDermott, man? How high is the seat? And I want I want to do another wraparound on McDermott's expiration date. When do you think is going to be the off season next year or however?
So I'm gonna answer because I know we only got an hour, so I'm gonna answer both of those questions in one.
Go ahead.
For me, in my humble opinion, guys, I don't know how you feel about it, but McDermott should have been fired after 13 seconds. You can't. Something like that cannot happen in that situation. I'm sorry. I mean, like T said, thank you for everything you've done. But in my humble opinion, I think we've reached the ceiling with him. No matter what, big games, big time situations, he's constantly getting out coached, making a wrong decision here or there. Now, I want to give him a little bit of credit because, like you guys have been talking, the defense have been riddled with injuries. So, I mean, they're doing the best they can with what they got.
Right.
Shout out to Brandon Bean for bringing in Rasul Douglas. I mean, he's been huge for us. I think him at the corner has been huge for us. But as far as McDermott, in my humble opinion, guys, man, I think his expiration date is past due.
Okay, that's a great answer right there. And another thing, I want y'all briefly to mention because I'm pretty sure Spence talked about it, Sturls talked about it. A reference that I brought up with McDermott and the Golden State Warriors. I touched on it in my previous show, but y'all really dove into it. And y'all pretty much how the previous coach got him out of a drought, so to speak. I mean, I'm going to let y'all take over. You know what I'm talking about. Thanks.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, it was a few weeks back, I did a pod where I was basically comparing Sean McDermott to Mark Jackson. Because, with Golden State Warriors, they drafted Steph Curry, they drafted Clay and Draymond, and they put together the foundation of what now we see as a dynasty. And, maybe that's what Sean McDermott is. Maybe, he drafted the Josh Allens, and maybe he brought in the Matt Milanos and the Trey Whites, and maybe his job was to change the culture and the way the fan base had expectations for the team. Like, maybe that was his job. And now, okay, all these pieces are in place. Now we need somebody to come in and really know how to play chess with this thing instead of, just get the right pieces and hope that we land on, that we land on the right place. Now let's get somebody who can strategically get us there. And I'm just thinking that we need a Steve Kerr. You need somebody that's going to be able to come in and unlock the superstar in Josh Allen the same way Steve Kerr came in and unlocked the superstar that we see in Curry. Look, I get it. He wasn't a superstar. Kerr, he played with one. Maybe that's why he understands it. I don't know. Or maybe because he was a shooter, he understood the needs of a shooter. Who knows? But whatever it was, when Kerr got on that team as the head coach, something happened with Curry where he just became undeniably amazing. He became an all-time great. And look, dude, every week we see Josh Allen make these incredible plays every single week.
Every week.
And it's almost to the point that even with Diggs, even with whoever you can list all of the guys we got, is getting to the point that if Josh doesn't play a perfect game or near perfect game, the Bills don't win. You gotta be able to win games when Josh Allen isn't perfect. You have to.
Yeah, I love that comparison, man, because Kerr was a 6-time champ before he got to Golden State. So it's that championship pedigree. He knows he knew what it takes to win. I mean, he might not have been a star, but it helps when you play with the GOAT. So, I mean, he knows something like that. I love that. I love that comparison.
Yeah, that's why I had to definitely make you deeply explain that, because I mentioned in the previous show, because I understood what I was talking about, but you know exactly how to dissect it and how to explain it. And, I mean, it only makes sense to the Bills. McDermott got us as far as we can, and with everybody calling for the job, you got the McDermott haters and then the McDermott lovers coming at them like, oh, well, if it wasn't for McDermott, we wouldn't be here, blah, blah, blah. But that's just the perfect analogy right then and there. Right there. Going through these comments, man. None but love to everybody in here, man. It's definitely a pleasure to have all the big hitters in here. T. Estell, Furrowh, JSpenceTheKing, man. Definitely appreciate everybody spending the time with me
Appreciate
tonight.
y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Now we definitely got a tough situation ahead of us with Von Miller. Don't want to dive too much into legal situation. Those who really want to know more of the legal situation, go on to Buffalo Rumblings, the CTW podcast, Circle the Wagons. They explain it. They got the police report, everything you need to know about Von Miller's legal situation. Go watch them. What I want to talk about is pretty much Von Miller's play throughout this season. And I put Miller time out. What are we going to do with Von Miller? Before I ask this question, I do got something that with the legal situation that may go against his contract. So Von Miller's salary is $17 million, all guaranteed, with injuries for until 2024. $10 million is fully guaranteed and gets the rest until March 2024. The Bills' contract allows a void of any guarantees if Von Miller is suspended under personal conduct policy with the commissioner. But the Bills need that suspension before 2024 March. If he's not suspended, we're not able to void out his contract. So I bring up his contract because the way he's playing right now, he's no Von Miller. I don't know if his injury is still lingering, his age is coming to him. I don't know what's going on. There's 2 plays I've seen from the Eagles game where he tried to cut in. One of them, he tried to cut in, do his little move where he cuts in, spins out, try to get the quarterback. He cut in, got in the way of Ed Oliver, and then just stood there while the quarterback still had the ball. And then, so you got 2 defensive linemen out of the play, which giving Hurts even more time to make a play. So with all that being said, let me go with, because what's up with Von Miller? What do we do with him? Do we sit him for the rest of the year, let him fully recover, and then start back next year, or what's up?
I don't think he's fully healthy. I think we rushed him back,
Right.
in my humble opinion. He did mention a couple months ago on his podcast that he doesn't feel comfortable playing with the knee brace, and he was waiting to get the knee brace. I think this is going to actually be his first game without the knee brace on Sunday if he plays. But I mean, I don't think he's healthy. Contract situation, I mean, his contract is what it is, I guess. I mean, if I don't want to comment because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? We haven't heard nothing.
He says he's eligible to play.
I don't want to say that it can't be really that serious if he hasn't been charged yet, or like we haven't heard a thing. I mean, I don't know if you guys have heard anything that I haven't heard, but I
don't even think they're trying to talk to the Bills. I think they're just trying to handle it. I think it's Dallas, right? Dallas in the legal way. I kind of heard some of Brandon Bean's presser today. So they're just going to let, I guess, that side of it play out. I don't know. I know it's not my turn, so
No,
Yeah, I'm
let
glad you
go,
jumped in.
go,
I'm
go.
glad you did it.
I don't know. I feel like maybe sit him, and I know you're sitting this $1 million guy. I don't, like you said, I don't think he was prepared to play. I don't think he's healthy enough to play, and you can give those snaps to AJ Epinesa, who has been
Pretty good
playing
this
well.
year.
You
Pretty
know,
good.
so I mean, if he's not comfortable with the brace being on, maybe give those snaps to somebody else. I seen
AJ
him play
Epinesa.
also too with Von Miller, and Von likes to set up plays. Like he'll do stuff to set himself up later on. But obvious you can see that Von it's not it's not there yet, and now he's just like not helping his team out, and maybe he is frustrated. So we don't know what's really going on with him, but maybe he is frustrated. But I don't know. This Vaughn situation is very tricky.
There you go, Monster.
Let me just say something real quick, guys. I just want y'all to know, for me, I feel like I don't think we should let him play. In my
Yeah.
opinion, just until we know if this stuff actually really happened or whatever the case may be, is just, in my opinion, it's not a good look. We don't want that kind of press. We got enough shit going on right now. We got to these next two games are, if we can get these through these next two games, somehow pull out a W, I think we're going on a run. So like we got way more stuff to worry about than bad press or whatever it is. Like we said, Von hasn't really given us much on the field anyway. So sitting them, what are we really missing out? What are we really missing?
Yeah, Sterls, go ahead, man. What you got to say about all that? About Von
Yeah.
Miller and his play?
As far as his play goes, I mean, he's a 34-year-old defensive end who's coming off an ACL injury. Like, I don't know how many people y'all know, I know, that can come back and play to the level of a Hall of Fame defensive end. It's just going to take time, right? Vaughn is the eternal optimist. He believes all the best, but he's just not ready. So, and to say all that, for one, he has always taken poor rush angles. Always. He's not been great against the run. So you see him looping around offensive tackles, and now he doesn't have the explosiveness to convert speed to power. So you're seeing that. Like he's just not the same player right now. So maybe next year he can get that right. But as far as this year, yeah, I mean, really, you could have sat him down for, the rest of the season, a couple games, and he's just not going to have an impact. But I was a little disappointed today at the presser. I felt like the team needed to take a stand. I feel like you disrespect the women who've endured domestic violence, and even though the legal process has not come out yet, this is his third run-in with stuff like this. So it's not like I would understand to an extent if this is his first time, but this is his third time. So at some point, like, we got to be pointing the finger at Vaughn.
Right. Something's got to be wrong there if this your third time.
Yeah. Like I said, jump on TW, Circle the Wagon podcast, Buffalo Rumblings. They tell you the whole initial 911 call, and then the whole nine of it. Like I said, man, we already had a half hour. We still got a bunch more to go. We still got Chiefs to talk. So, like I said, y'all want to get more on the legal aspect of Von Miller, go jump over there. They definitely dive into it in definition. I mean, what else we got to talk about? Let's talk about some tight ends. Let's get into some tight end talk. We already know our first round draft pick, which is by far our best draft pick we had in years since since Josh Allen, number 17, big boy Josh. Dalton Kincaid, kind of been everything we expected plus more. He's clutch. He catches the ball. That's the biggest one. He catches the ball. And then now Dawson Knox is off his injury. He's healthy. I'm pretty sure he's eligible to play, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do? Does Joe Brady go to the 12-man formation and get two tight ends in it? Does Dawson Knox automatically assumes tight end one and then Kincaid is kicked, or is it a healthy mix between the two? Jay Spence, I want you to take that one.
Man, well, God, I hope that it's not where we go back to 12 personnel or where we're trying to force something that Josh Allen clearly isn't comfortable with. Like, because that to me would show that Joe Brady isn't as smart as I'm giving him credit for being. I think Joe Brady is a brilliant offensive mind. I think what we're seeing here is, just a classic example of guys who have had opportunities before with subpar quarterback play, and then now you see the same offensive mind come in to do the same thing, and now they have a guy that's a stud at the quarterback position, and you see it working. I think Joe Brady should be given the opportunity depending on what we see for the next couple of weeks, he should be given the opportunity to keep this job going forward.
I agree.
I just think it works. So to talk about, I guess, just anything else, like, you know what? I'm so fed up with this team, bro. Like, I'm being honest with you. Like,
I'm with you on that, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm with you on that so much, man.
Because it's like you expect Knox. Like, before we drafted Kincaid, you expected Knox to be that dude. Like, we gave this dude a $52 million contract. He's and okay, now I will be the first to tell you, I am completely understanding, and I try to show as much empathy as much as possible to people who are dealing with mental health issues or emotional issues from any type of situation. Right. So I understand after he lost his brother, he was dealing with some mental health things, and I understand. I'm not talking about any of that stuff at all. I'm talking about when you're on the field, you got to perform. And there came a time where he just wasn't showing up. There's times where you're paying all of this money for a tight end and the numbers aren't there. And then you'll have a game where he'll show up. He'll make this incredible catch in the playoff against the Dolphins where it's like a catch behind a helmet. And it's like, yo, that's the dude that we've been waiting for. Now we see it week in and week out with Kincaid. I don't even want to play with it. I don't even want you to put Knox. But again, you're paying him. So what are you going to do? For me, if I'm Brandon Beane at this point, I'm trying to set things up for the offseason to see if I can create some value in who Dawson Knox is, try to trade him to a team that needs a safety blanket for a young quarterback, maybe a Carolina Panthers who they have a good relationship with, who needs weapons for a young quarterback down there. They've been looking for a wide receiver one or just weapons in general before the trade deadline. See if you can get something for Dawson Knox. But at this point, I really think we need to move on from him so that way Kincaid can blossom into the player that he really is supposed to be.
Because you don't want to cut that off, man. He's hot right now. And the biggest thing, they cut him off in the second half because he had no receptions in the second half of that Eagles game, did he?
You know what? I don't even know.
Yeah, I believe they said he didn't get any receptions or a target in the second half of that Eagles game. I could be mistaken, but before I pass along, the biggest thing, because I know the Buffalo Bills are in talks with Zach Ertz. Is he not?
No, we don't need Zach Ertz.
We don't need him. But what if?
I don't think it's true.
Okay, that could be the case. But what if Dawson Knox's injury is more than what it needs to be? We want Kincaid to be more of a receiver. We want Knox to be more of a blocker. But that wrist injury is hindering him. Do we bring in Ertz just extra depth? I know we don't need it, but that's the only thing I came to the conclusion with the talks of Zach Ertz, where that maybe his injury is lingering a little bit more. Let's sit Dawson Knox and get him in to replace it. But if he's ready, I mean, there's no need for an Ertz.
Listen, Zach Ertz ain't going to do nothing that Quentin Morris can't do.
Boom. Okay. Shut that down right there. right there. Okay.
We don't need a tight end. And I'm with you guys too on the Kincaid thing, man. I think having Knox here was hindering Kincaid's development at the beginning of the year. Once Knox went down, you've seen it. I think they used Kincaid in the beginning of the games to get Josh in the rhythm.
Yeah.
If you notice, he completes his first 3, 4, 5 passes. 3 of them are to Kincaid, and then he's, I don't know, in the Philly game, he just looked like Josh for the first time all year, in my opinion. So, I mean, I think Knox, you bring him in when Kincaid needs a blow, or if you're in these sets where you need a better blocking tight end, because he could still go out there and get you a catch here and there. But I think we found our tight end one, and that's, I mean, like you said, use him in the offseason, man. Let's showcase him a little bit. Let everybody know he still got something in. And if you can get a 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick for him in the offseason, man, I think that's a win in my opinion.
Get somebody like another Rasul Douglas type of player. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something like that.
Here's
You
a
need a wide
thought.
receiver.
Here's a thought. I was just about to say, here's a thought. How about we get somebody to catch the doggone ball from the wide receiver position, so
Yeah.
your wide receiver 2 doesn't suck
Happen to
at,
pull
like
the
the dude is.
ball.
Let me stop
Who
because I
else?
know there's a lot of Gabe Davis people.
Every time
People
we watch
love
a
Gabe. Let me
game,
stop.
Listen, man,
Oh my
I was guilty
why
of the
does this
Gabe
pass
Davis
the ball
thing,
to
man.
catch?
We
We're
all
about
got
to
go
guilty
pass
of
the ball
it.
to catch. I don't get it. Only Gabe
Listen.
Davis pops the ball to catch. I don't get it.
Four touchdowns and 200 yards in that 13-second game got everybody on the Gabe Davis Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
We all expected. We seen that in that game, and then you expected it the next year.
Yeah.
We all were guilty of that.
I behoove not all because I behoove you. Go and search my name and Gabe Davis on Twitter.
Fair
I
enough.
promise you,
Fair
you
enough.
will see receipt after receipt after receipt saying that this guy is not a wide receiver 1B like Josh Allen was saying. I said Josh was a liar. I love Josh, but you lying to us, bruh. Don't lie to me, my dude. Like I see what you see. Gabe Davis is not a wide receiver 1B, not a wide receiver 2. That dude he can be an elite wide receiver 3. That's his role. Go and get me last year all summer. Matter of fact, since around this time last year, when it first came out, I was screaming, yo, as soon as the offseason hits, go get D-Hop. Go get Nuke. Bring Nuke to Buffalo. And go get Nuke. We still need that. So now I'm saying, okay, y'all did good with Kincaid. Go draft me a wide receiver. Go get a guy that you know. Go get a guy, man. Yo, I posted one during one game. I can't remember what game it was, where it was like crab hands. Like literally, it's like, dude, come on, man.
Man, let's get this train keep moving. Sturls, tight end, man. How you feeling about this whole situation?
So I've been the biggest Dalton Kincaid fanboy out there. My predictions, and Jay Smith can attest to this, my predictions are right on track for what I said he was going to do this season. Dawson Knox still has value in the offense just from a blocking standpoint. And if you can use him as a fourth option in your offense, Dawson Knox is fine. He's got questionable hands, but again, as a fourth option, you really don't have to go to him. But Dalton Kincaid is the future. And for all those people who say that, Dalton Kincaid is nothing near Travis Kelce, you're not watching the same tight end that I'm watching, because he has some of the he has some of the same movement skills, just seamless when he catches the ball and he's going upfield, and he's only a rookie. Kelce wasn't as dirty when he was a rookie. I'm not saying that Dalton Kincaid is going to be as good or as better as Kelce, but what I'm saying is there are a lot of traits and attributes that are very similar. And I only think that the ceiling is only going to improve with Dalton Kincaid. I mean, just think about it. Usually takes about 3 years for tight ends to really start to produce. Dalton Kincaid is doing it in his first year, and he's not just lining up as a wide tight end. They put him in a slot and other places as well. So he's going to be a dog for years to come.
Yes. Man, finish it off. What's up with these tight ends?
Oh man, I don't know. I just didn't understand. I mean, I love that Kincaid is here. I just didn't understand the pick at the time, because you have a tight end in Dawson Knox.
Right.
If you're trying to, maybe you're saying to yourself, we're going to get from underneath this contract and push Dawson Knox out and bring Kincaid in. I just didn't understand the pick, but I understand that maybe you want to do the 12 personnel. Like you said, Josh doesn't look like he's comfortable doing running that, but I don't know, man. It's hard. Dawson Knox is my guy, but Dalton Kincaid just looks so smooth out there. He just looks like he's been playing. He doesn't look like a rookie.
Yeah,
he looks like he's been playing this game, and he's been playing this game for a while. But in the NFL, he just looks so smooth. Everything is just, he catches the ball and he goes up field. He just looks so smooth and so graceful.
No, I love it.
Well, I think that pick,
go ahead, guys.
I think the reason why we ended up picking him is because they had no choice. The run on receivers went right before him.
Yeah,
I really
but if
do.
they weren't going to get him, I think Dallas was going to get him.
Yeah, so they had to jump up and get a pass. You notice how they always phrase it, pass catcher. They never really. When do you ever really hear them say tight end when they describe Dalton Kincaid? Yeah. So I think we kind of just the run of the receivers went right before us. So I think that's kind of why
that McDuffie pick too.
And they said that he was the best pass catcher in the draft. not just tight ends, but out of receivers as well. He was the best pass catcher, and it's looking like it so far. I don't know any
But
other receiver that's blowing up this year. Go ahead, Spence.
well, I also think it was by design. If you go back and am I y'all with me? My bad.
Okay,
Yeah, go ahead.
but you good now.
Okay. I also think it was by design because if you go back and look at when Ken Dorsey first took over as offensive play caller, we also remember free agency. They picked up OJ Howard, and they were hoping at that point
that's true.
they
You're
wanted to
right.
do it. They wanted to run a 12 personnel offense. That's all they preached about. And then OJ Howard showed up to training camp, and he was
Stiff.
completely like he just wasn't the dude that we all thought that he was.
Jacob
So
Hollister as well the year before.
you get what I'm
But the
saying?
thing is,
So
I just want to throw in there. What if we would have signed one of those? What if we would have kept the Hollister? What if we would have kept OJ Howard? That probably would have changed us not signing or giving Knox his contract. We put have got out of him and then would have went full force on Kincaid.
well, I mean, if those guys performed, well, we've
Right.
seen OJ Howard once he got cut, he got signed. I believe he got signed with the Texans, and then he got cut there, and then he was signed somewhere else and got cut. So, the thing is, I think I'm trusting that Brandon Bean and the team's evaluators knew, okay, OJ Howard just wasn't gonna service us the way we wanted. But the point that for bringing him up is to say, I think the plan was to try and run a 12 personnel type of offense. So now I think they will unfortunately go back to it. I think if Knox is back, I'm with you because I don't want him to. You know what I'm saying? Like I hate it. But I just because to me I feel like Josh is uncomfortable. He doesn't read for some reason he doesn't read the offense the same way. I feel like routes aren't. Did you see guys
He loves
running
his wide
into each other?
receivers.
He does. And now if you're gonna do that, then to me, like Sterling was saying, put Kincaid in the slot. I don't need to see two tight ends literally on the line.
Yeah.
And then no man, put Kincaid in the slot, bring Knox in, do some different things, or this is me. Forget Knox. Bring playoff Lenny up and put Cook and Lenny in the backfield at the same time and run some funky. Come on, man. Let's get real.
Where's he been?
Put some talent on the field, bro. Like,
right.
let's do this. Let's do this. What are we doing?
Listen, I'm so happy you brought up Leonard Fournette. So happy. Like, we got him there. He's ready to go. He came out. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. He came out and said he's got the playbook. He's ready. Like, don't get me wrong. I love the way James Cook is playing this year. I wish he would have caught that ball in Philadelphia, obviously, but and then I mean, Latavius Murray's playing well for the carries he's given, but man, I'd much rather love to see those carries go to Leonard Fournette.
What's up with
give me
Ty
Cook
Johnson?
and Lenny. Cook and Lenny.
How y'all feeling about Ty Johnson though? I mean,
Ty Johnson, he's balling. He looks good too, man.
Yeah,
he looks good.
He's what
Naheem Hines was supposed to be in that offense.
He's
you're right, Sterling.
And if I'm Brandon Bean, I'm jumping on it now for next year. Like, no, let's lock you up for a couple of years. I like this 1-2 punch. But right now we got Leonard Fournette. You use Leonard Fournette. Like you use that dude.
Yeah, because the Jets, if they let Ty Johnson go, he's going back to the Jets. Believe that.
Yeah. So
I like that point about Naheem Hines though. Ty Johnson's definitely giving us what Naheem Hines was supposed to give us.
Mm-hmm.
Real. So I just want to go through some quick contract calls on some real because we brought up Ty Johnson. His contract is coming up this year. Do we sign him back? I kind of just want a yes, no, and a brief explanation. Jay Spence, you kind of already talked about it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you want to sign him back, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
How about Ty Johnson?
Yes, sign him back before somebody else picks him up. I like the way he hits the whole pause. And
Pause.
Go ahead, Sturls. How you feel about Ty Johnson? You want to bring him back?
Yeah, bring Ty Johnson back for sure.
Depends on how much though.
Obviously.
Latavius
Murray.
It's gonna be a minimum deal.
Yeah,
it won't be a grip.
We got Latavius Murray. He's coming up too. Do you bring him back? I mean, I know we just said he has to Ty Johnson, so I mean,
no, you don't need him. You can always find somebody to plug in that spot right there.
Yeah.
How you feel, Spence?
For me, it just depends on what's happening with Naheem Hines. So is Naheem Hines coming back and he's going to jump back into the role that we expected him to have this year, or is he going to come back and not really? We just saw some guys come back from injury, not be themselves. So is Naheem Hines going? So I don't know. I won't say yes or no on Murray.
Murray.
I think that depends on what we get from Naheem Hines. But I
He had
would
an
I would
ACL,
absolutely
right?
love.
ACL.
I don't even know what the injury
Yeah.
quite was because it was like his
Yeah,
knee
he
was
fucking
crushed.
blew. That's all I know.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
tore his ACL and MCL.
Crazy,
Oh,
man.
snap.
Pumping
Okay.
gas, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, he literally, one of his boys ran into him on a jet ski while he was sitting there filling up his jet ski.
Christ. Okay.
Sturls, do we keep Murray or no?
No, I mean, you get rid of Murray, but you draft a running back in rounds 4 or 5 or later. You know, you'll have guys like, I mean, you know, if they go earlier, you can get guys like Blake Corum, Trey Benson, Florida State, Donovan Edwards, Michigan, Marshawn Lloyd. I mean, there's going to be some guys that can fill that role. The favorite one out of there is Blake Corum, University of Michigan, though. He's got the good contact balance. He's going to give you all those tough yards that Latavius Murray is supposed to be getting.
I watched that game too. I like
Can I
that.
just
Brought
ask
a
one
Michigan
thing?
man in
Definitely,
this.
real quick. Definitely fuck with your boy Sturls, bro. He real big in the draft, so any draft talk you need to know.
Damn, man, you tell a Buckeye fan to bring in a Michigan guy? Come on, man.
Man, he be on it.
Y'all
yo,
ain't got nothing to say.
Hey, listen,
wait,
man.
Real
Hey.
quick. Can I just ask what would be wrong with next year? Because I don't know why everybody has this assumption that like Leonard Fournette is old and washed, man. He's 28 years old.
Yeah.
Why can't we
Look
like?
like a
Why can't it be
linebacker.
James Cook? You needed
I
some
like
size
that.
to him, though. You
I
need
like
some
that,
size
James
to him
Cook.
for them goal line situations, them third and short situations. Yo, let me get a Ty Johnson, James Cook, and Leonard Fournette running back. Let me get that backfield.
I
Like
love it.
Leonard Fournette is not old, man. Like he has. I don't know. Give me Leonard
What?
Fournette for another year.
So he wasn't signed because of the contract? Was
I
that
think
why
he wanted
was
too
sitting
much
out there?
money at first.
Nah, I mean, if you want the honest opinion on him, he's just not the same back that he used to be.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have him in a very limited role, like third down, you know, picking up the blitz and stuff like that, I think he can excel at that. But when you're asking him to pound between the tackles, that's just not his game anymore. He's had too many injuries and so forth.
I think he could pound the tackle in between the tackles in the red zone.
But how much? I mean, he did it with the Bucks a couple years ago. But like again, he's 28 years old. He's not Latavius Murray. Latavius Murray, when you talk about guys who take care of their body, there's not a running back in the league that takes care of their body like Latavius Murray, like a Adrian Peterson. Leonard Fournette is just not that guy. And when it comes to that kind of stuff.
And I agree with you when you watch the film and you watch him play, but then you also look at it last season. It was one of his most productive years. You know, he had to combine on the ground and as a receiver, he had over 1,200 yards, man. Like it was a good year for him. So again, he might not be the same back that he was, but you put him behind a James Cook, and then now you see what Ty Johnson is becoming. You add that into that mix there. I think it's a pretty good mix of running back where you put him in and you don't know if you're gonna run it up the gut for a quick little a small gain or if you're gonna throw it out the backfield. I don't know. Maybe I got more faith in who Leonard Fournette is than other. Yeah, he had a really good season receiving the ball last season.
Yeah, I just think you go younger, get a rookie on a cost control contract that, you know, if Cook goes down, if Ty Johnson goes down, you got a guy in there that you drafted 4th, 5th round that can just handle the load, you know.
Well, I'm gonna throw this out there too, as far as like the Fournette thing, man. Not just for like on the field, off the field too. The man's won a Super Bowl. He knows what it takes to win in the playoffs. That experience can only be handy. And I mean, I don't know. You guys correct me if I don't really. Who's on our team that's won a championship?
It don't matter when Sean McDermott is your coach. He gonna find a way to F it up.
Wow.
Right, but I'm saying
right.
just have veteran leadership.
Right,
bench for it too.
Lord.
They gonna
I'm
find
so
another
sick of him
coach
benching running backs, man.
I am
He benching running backs like they're kids.
Like they in timeout. I can't
I
stand
don't get it. I don't get it. And the thing is with McDermott, why is it only the running backs that get punished? It doesn't matter if a defensive player misses a wide open tackle.
Or how come? I mean, every time Gabe drops a pass or lets a pass go through his hands for an interception.
Come on, now. He gets to stay in the game. But no, only running backs deserve punishment. It makes no sense. Even though this running back, especially for that fumble, the last time he fumbled was the first time he ever had a handoff the previous year.
That's true.
And the second fumble was that game. We're gonna bench him. Which, yeah, bench him. But honestly, I was with my brother-in-law, and I told him, like, yeah, I get it. You absolutely do not fumble the first snap, the first play in this game. But you do it. All right, whatever. You know what? Throw that motherfucker back in. Let him get his confidence back. Don't give up on him. Don't that punishment is old school. Like, you can still do it, but at a certain situation, like, I'm nobody. I'm just a fucking Bills fan. I got no experience, no coach, nothing like that. But throw that dude back in, man. Like, you know what? I know you fucked up. I know you're not gonna disrespect me and do it again. Throw that in. What happens when he got back in? He ate. Not because he sat the bench for so long, because he already knew he fucked up and he has to do what he got to do. James Cook is still a young running back, and I feel like he still hasn't formed until his true running back form. This kid gonna be nasty. I know everybody's saying, even Sarah Larson over here, appreciate you for joining the chat. Running back years, like, by the time you're 5th year, you're an old man. But with James Cook, I don't know about James Cook. There's something different about this dude. He gonna be in this league for a long time. He gonna be the next Leonard Fournette. But the thing is, this kid, he still plays like a kid. Let him mature, understand the game a lot better. I mean, it's kind of hard with an offense like this, but when you get those snaps, when you run him consistent and stop one drive, Cook, one drive, Ty Johnson, another drive, Murray, no. Let this man get in. You got to be smarter when you want to run it. And I feel like that's the biggest problem with the Bills. You're fucking obvious. I'm just a Bills fan, and I could tell you're going to run it. As soon as Stephon Diggs, and that's another thing I didn't want to mention, but fuck it, I'm talking about rambling. I'm 2 beers down, got the hen dog. I mean, we running it. Great show. Appreciate everybody running this joint, everybody in this, man, number love. Rocking. But with Stephon Diggs, when he gets off the field, you know we're going to run. When Stephon Diggs is lazy in his stance and in his route, you know we're going to run. Stephon Diggs does not block. He does not block at all. If he's not in his stance about to run a mile, it's going to be a run. And I've been peeping this for years. That's my biggest thing about Stephon Diggs, is that you're not selling a run. If it's a run play or the ball's not coming to you, you're lazy in your route, you're lazy in your stance. And honestly, to defenses, they just got to look at you. They can tell.
I don't know. I think I just think I like the whole Leonard Fournette, James Cook thing next year too. I do. I really do. I mean, you could plug and play a running back anywhere nowadays, and he's getting it. I disagree with the benching as well. Like, yeah, he should have caught that pass in Philly, but me personally, I'm gonna give it like you said, cause I'm gonna give the ball back to you. I'm trying to keep your confidence up.
Yeah,
I think a benching somebody can only hurt, in my opinion, especially a young player in the league like that, still trying to find his way.
absolutely. I want to talk about some Trey White. We all love Trey White. Ain't nothing wrong with the man, but them 2 injuries. Pretty sure it's on the same leg, Achilles and ACL, MCL, or however. ACL. What do we do with Trey White? I mean, he's under contract until 2026, 4 years, 70 mil. What do we do? Do we just keep him and then, bro, you're receiver 2 and 3? We got Rasul Douglas. We got Dane Jackson, who's a dog. I mean, Kyer Elam. Can we? Is he a bust? I feel like so. Can he be revived? Maybe. I don't know. Let me start with T. Estell over here on our cornerback situation and Trey White.
Are you saying is Trey White a bust?
No.
Right.
Kyer Elam was a bust. Trey White was a stud until he got injured, but
right. I don't know. Man, this cornerback room is tricky because that Kyer Elam situation. I just always thought it was a what was that? Because last year, even though he played, I mean he had a pick on Patrick Mahomes, right? Or did he? Yeah, right. He had a pick on Patrick Mahomes. I want to say. I mean, again, confidence. If you're not confident, you're not going to play well. If you start second guess, especially in a cornerback position, if you're not confident playing the cornerback position, you're not going to play well. My bad. The Trey White situation, I don't know. It's. I guess it's a good problem to have. I know you could probably. They were talking about some renegotiate his contract or something like that.
Restructure.
Yeah. But you got Rasul Douglas. I would love to see Rasul Douglas and Trey White play and see how that would look.
I agree.
But I don't know if Trey White is going to be ready, within a year. When he comes back next year and he's going to be ready. Although Trey White was looking like the old Trey when he got injured.
Yeah, he was easy, man.
I don't know.
He was off the roost, dude. That's the one thing when Trey White came back this year. Last year he was rough. This year he was one of the best corners. Like nobody was throwing to him. If they did throw it to him, nobody was really catching. I know it was a touchdown or two, which was real ugly, but majority of the fact, Trey White was back.
And he started following wide receivers too.
I think Brandon Bean being able to get Rasul Douglas and have him for next year gives us the leeway kind of to just let Trey just come back at his own pace. And we don't need to make the same mistake we made with Vaughn and rush him back. Yeah. If Trey's not ready until next year around this time, so be it. Like, I just don't want to make that same mistake. And I got to give shout out. I don't think Brandon Bean would ever fire his buddy, but I got to give him credit for bringing in Douglas, man. Like he gives you that leeway to allow Trey to come back and you don't feel the need to rush him.
What do you say about what Matt Minor said about Trey White? Can he be a safety? Because
I wouldn't want him as my safety.
Yeah.
Let's be real. Like when you have an ACL injury and then you have an Achilles injury to a guy who is not like when in cornerback terms, not extremely athletic, like he's gonna lose a couple steps. And so you have to evaluate, okay, do you feel comfortable with Trey White at cornerback because of his instincts? Or do you feel can he shadow the other team's number one wide receiver? And he's a 28-year-old cornerback, and then if you restructure his deal, you're basically guaranteeing that deal. You're on the hook for the next 2 years, like almost fully guaranteed at that point. So I wouldn't restructure him. I would just let him rehab and see if he can do it.
Can I just to jump on your point real quick, because I don't even I'm what you're saying I agree with, but next year is when you have an out. Like right now, if they were to try to cut him at any point this year or trade him at any point this year, dead cap is at $26 million. Next year have an out. It's $10 million for dead cap.
Cut him.
I honestly think, honest to God, and I hate to say this because we love Trey White as a person, we love his energy on the field. I'm telling you, I think Trey White's time in Buffalo is up, and I'm saying that just purely from a football perspective. I think Trey White's time, that's why you make the trade for Rasul, because Trey White's time is up in Buffalo. Now, you might draft one in the second or third round. I think you also need to draft a safety very soon. Like this draft, like this one coming up, you need to draft a safety and maybe sign another veteran that's younger, like maybe, coming off their first contract, 27-ish, 28-ish, sign one and draft one.
Like they got something high.
You need it, right? And y'all know Jordan is my dog, but we need to sign and draft. It's time.
Yep.
It's time.
Yep.
Especially in our secondary, because like I said, we got Poyer, Hyde. You guys are old men right now, and your contract's coming up. I'm pretty sure Hyde is coming up this year, Poyer the following, if I'm not mistaken, vice versa. But and I don't know if I necessarily trust our backups with the Cam Lewis and Hamlin and Sarah Neal. I don't know. So definitely got to get up.
Anytime Saran Neal comes on the field, I'm always nervous. Like, what are we doing?
So we up on an hour right now. I don't know what y'all got going on. I'm still ready to rock. We still got Chiefs to talk, but whoever ready to go, I know it's 11 o'clock right now. I mean,
I gotta go because I'm not feeling well, so I just came on to show love for sure.
Man, definitely.
We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Peace out. Always love.
Much love.
Love you, T.
All right, love you guys too. All right.
Definitely go check out Estell over there, Not Your Average Podcast. Her and Mike, definitely big things over there. They definitely give you a good show over there. Go check them out. Like I said, man, we still got a lot more to talk. I don't know if y'all still trying to keep this shit going, but shit.
Where we going, Chiefs? We're gonna talk about the Chiefs.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Chiefs, man. Real quick, because we was gonna talk about draft, but I know that's gonna be another.
Here's the thing. I know we was talking about all this offseason stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not ready to talk about the offseason. We still
Okay.
got 5 games ahead of us, and this team is definitely talented enough to make a run. So,
Can I
like,
ask an honest question?
yeah,
Go
go ahead.
Because I agree with you. They talented enough to make a run.
Right.
You think they're gonna make a run? You think they're gonna win enough games to make the playoffs? Honest to God, the way you feel, the way your knowledge is of football, the way you feel about this team, you think that everything you've seen this season, you think that the Buffalo Bills are going to win the next 5 games.
Here's the thing, man. If you would have asked me this 2 weeks ago, I would have told you, hell no.
Even that.
Hell
It's not even
no.
that. It's
But
not even-
I've seen enough from Josh these last couple weeks to say, man, as long as he's playing the way he's playing, we got a shot in these next 5 games.
Okay.
So, I mean, I've seen it. I've seen us go on a run before. Remember, 2 years ago, we were 7-6 and we went on that run and we lost in 13 seconds.
But that schedule was not what
I know.
it was.
I know. And
the
that's
thing
why
is, we schedule so much. We got Chiefs. This is the worst Chiefs.
it's these next 2 games we got to get
I
through.
understand. Chargers are Chargers. I feel like that's gonna be a Billsy game.
You
We
can't.
beat them.
The
Cowboys-
Chargers, you never know which team's gonna
I feel
show
like
up.
Dallas
Fam.
coming to Buffalo. There's no way Dallas is beating Buffalo in Buffalo. There's no
I
way.
disagree. That's the one I'm worried about.
Fam.
the most.
I'm worried about it too. I'm worried about Micah Parsons, and I'm worried about that defense and Dak Prescott. I mean, you don't know what you're gonna get from them, but I don't know. I don't see the Cowboys coming to Buffalo and beating us. Josh Allen's gonna rise to the occasion and get that done.
I would have said that with you. I would have agreed with you if I didn't watch that playoff game in Cincinnati last year. Because I was feeling the same. Ain't nobody coming into Buffalo at the end of the year and beating us. And then Cincinnati came here in the playoffs and destroyed us. So I've been off of that. I think, honestly, in my humble opinion, I think we going into Kansas City and we getting a W.
Yeah,
It's that Dallas game that I'm like, that's the trap game right there.
I feel like we might lose to the Chargers.
I
We're
think
gonna
the
beat
Dallas
the
game's a typical Bills game, in my
I feel
opinion.
like we're gonna beat the Chiefs, beat the
But see,
Cowboys.
the thing is, if
Go
you're
ahead.
being honest about it, the Dallas game, it's not a trap game. The Dallas Cowboys are a very good offensive team. Dak Prescott leads the league in touchdown passes. Like, the dude is
Yeah, I
a
guess
beast.
I shouldn't have said trap game, but
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
And I'm not coming at you for saying. I'm saying because the way the national media will talk about him now too is like, well, Dak Prescott, the same way they talk about Josh Allen. So it's like some people really have this idea that if you don't watch enough Cowboys football, people really think
they're
Dak
pretty
Prescott is some bum.
Nah.
But it's like, yo, the Cowboys, if you watch their offense, dude, like sometimes when the Bills were going through their like little drought early on when we had Dorsey, I would watch the Cowboys and be jealous, man. Like, yo, they moving this ball like. Look at Tony Pollard just running through look at CeeDee Lamb just jumping through motherfuckers. Like, look at I would be jealous. Now the Bills, I feel like we're back to being the Bills. But yo, the Dallas Cowboys is like that. And then I tell you what, we play the Dolphins again. I know we beat them, but don't think that it's going to be a game where we going to automatically score 48-20 again or whatever the score was, 56-20. Like, they're still one of the best offenses in the league. And Tua is looking like an MVP. Tyreek Hill is looking like an MVP. That defense looks solid ever since Ramsey came back. So, I mean, like, yo, we talking like they got an easy schedule. You're playing against 5 playoff teams. Well,
I
4.
agree,
The
but
Chargers aren't.
as far as Miami, for me and I just think we got their number, man.
Yeah.
I just think we got their number.
hope.
And it's like, like I said, I don't trust my coach to make good decisions in some of these games. But like I said, if you'd have asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have told you no chance. But I see the little glimpses of the Bills when the last 2 weeks, and it's like, man, if we could just keep this momentum on offense going, man, it can happen. It can happen.
Dog, I want to be where you are.
Look,
I'm
I'm
trying to
man.
get back.
I got to.
No, I'm with you. I'm trying to be back there, but they gutted me too. Pause. They've really got me, just to a point where it's just difficult for me to really just have that same faith.
I feel you.
The thing is, I feel like I was the same way. I was ready before the bye week, before the Eagles game. I was ready to just like, yo, let's just fuck the season. Let's get ready for next season. Let's get ready for the draft and let it rock. Maybe bench Josh Allen, let Kyle Allen run it out. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. The Bills, I don't know. I'm just getting back into it. I really feel like we can make run. If we and out of everybody I listen to,
That's Henny.
if we win out, we can make the playoffs. If we win out and beat the Dolphins,
that's that hen dog talking. That man said bench Josh Allen for Kyle Allen. Boy, you
don't drink that no more. Don't drink that no more.
I'm just saying,
put it down,
we're not making the playoffs. I'm just saying, we're not making the playoffs.
Nah, you don't get to just you don't get to do that. You don't get to. Nah, you lost us on everything you said after bench Josh Allen for fucking Kyle Allen. You might as well say bench Josh Allen for Captain Crunch, nigga. Like, come on, dog.
I was just saying, if we're not making the playoffs, bench Josh Allen because save him from himself. But my whole thing about it is that we really can make this run, though. So, I mean, we're talking about schedule. How you feeling about the rest of this? These
Hold on. I'm sorry, my bad. I mean, I just want to ask y'all a question. If we do make this run, let's just say hypotheticals. Let's just say hypothetical. We make this run. Do you feel confident that we can keep going into the playoffs? Because obviously, if we make this run and get in, we're probably playing our best football. And I promise you, Kansas City, whoever's that 2 seed doesn't want to see us in the 7th spot.
Yeah, I think there's reasons to be optimistic. When you look at the offense and Josh Allen being fully unleashed, it's positive. You just need Sean McDermott to stay out the way. Right. You just need him to you don't need him to have great defensive performances from a play calling point of view, but you just need him to be sound in key situations. No zero blitzes, just kind of play Leslie Frazier type of football. Like, to keep it in front of you. We're not going to be doing crazy exotic stuff because we don't have the personnel. But when you look at the offense, like Shakir, Kincaid, Diggs, like these guys are balling out. Josh Allen's playing like the best quarterback in the league, in my opinion. So you could be optimistic. So if the Bills can go 4-1 in these last 5 games, I don't care who they lose to, they can make the playoffs. They can make the playoffs, and if they get to the playoffs, man, you have one of the best opportunities to make a run in the playoffs if you get there, because the Chiefs are a great team. The Ravens they're dogs. Like you're gonna have a hard time against the Ravens, but you know what? I think the Bills perform best when their backs are against the wall. They've shown us this over the last 4 years. So I don't know, man. Like, they got a lot of work to do between now and then for me to really get excited. If you look at the New York Times playoff machine, they got a 15% chance of making it. So the odds are they probably won't make it, but who knows?
And for me, it's also, I get what we're talking about. I agree 100% about the offense taking a step forward over the last 2 weeks. There's reason to be optimistic. But then I also, I have been talking since week 1. I've been talking about how bad the special teams has also played. Because if you think about it, three games right now I can point to say we lost because of special teams. Now, obviously, you don't lose because of one play. There's several moments throughout the game that get you to the point to lose a game. But 12 men on the field against the Denver Broncos, first time he kicked it, they missed it. We would have won the game. 12 men on the field. That's a special teams play. Week 1 against the New York Jets. Guess what? Overtime, special teams play, big return back that put them in a position to kick a field goal. Special teams play. Again, I can point to several different moments where special teams have been the reason why the Buffalo Bills have either lost the game when it comes to like the final points. Mm-hmm. You got to win all 3 phases. Right. And I understand, like, now we're happy about the Tyler Bass. He's been missing, got a couple blocked. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to get back to that point where special teams used to be a strength. Remember how I used to always talk about Andre Roberts?
We haven't been the same since.
Dog, I used to champion Andre Roberts, and fans was dogging me like, yo, he don't even score touchdowns. You bugging. You know what he did?
40. Every time he touched the ball, he got
field position every time.
The R40 or their 40. He got to the near the 50-yard line every single time he touched the ball. He was consistent. And the biggest thing we talk about special teams is like a double whammy, because, yes, there's special teams and then there's the kicker. I divide the 2. I know it's all one lump sum, but I divide the 2. It's special teams play and then the kicker. And then we're fucking about both sides. Where Tyler Bass I was number 1. I'm biggest fan of Tyler Bass. Bass-O-Matic, supersonic, hypnotic, funky, fresh, all that. Like, Tyler Bass was that dude. Like, he don't miss kicks. If you miss the kick, it's because the weather or something crazy or a missed snap or bad handle. But, dude, you're missing I wouldn't say easy because I mean a 40-yard kick is not easy, but you're missing.
You're in the NFL. That should be easy for you.
Exactly, because these are gimme kicks to a Tyler Bass. You're up there with a Tucker, not the experience in years and all that, but you got the red. You can be next to Tucker. Can he not? Could he not?
That Henny. I need you to.
All right. I'll check myself.
Listen, Baltimore.
Besides this year, I felt like he could have been another Justin Tucker.
Yeah, but Baltimore, when Baltimore plays, they know they got that. If they need a 62-5-yard kick to win the game, they got it.
Tuck got it.
So you could play with a different. That helps you with your calling and all that.
Game, but he made a 70-yard kick in practice before, multiple times. It's been like, and okay, whatever. Maybe I'm had a little too many beers and Henny.
Listen, Destroyer makes kicks all the time on TV. He doesn't mean he's on.
That's
not in the league.
So consistent in his game, and now you're just missing kicks. Gimme kicks. So what is going on with Tyler Bass? I mean, is it just I don't know.
Just missing kicks.
That's really the biggest thing when it comes down to special teams, where you're giving up big yardage and then you're missing these kicks. It's hard to really stay in the games because usually those will be those 3, 6, 9 extra points that help us get the win. That we won't have to get in these game decision drives where we're blaming refs or blaming McDermott or blaming Josh or whoever, why we can't just get the win. And there's been a couple times where each year we're having these all-time games, these best games of the year, we're always on the losing side of them. And it comes down to the same thing. It really becomes down to McDermott, does it not?
I was about to say it, the one common denominator.
Yeah, it comes down to McDermott and his final drive decision. Because I could guarantee you, every single big-time game we played, Josh Allen came out as a winner and went to the locker room as a loser. Multiple times. In that Chiefs 13 seconds game, he won that game 2-3 times and lost it every single time. And
prime example, New England this year. In New England. I mean, the offense played like trash for 3 quarters, but they came back and won the game, and then McDermott let Mac Jones go 90-something yards to win the game. Like, if that's not a team you don't play conservative against, I don't know who. Like, I don't know, but I don't want to look in the past, man. I want to ask y'all how y'all feel about Kansas City.
I'm glad you didn't make that transition.
Predictions, like where you think what score, how y'all feel?
Well, for me, man, I look at so we're used to the Kansas City Chiefs being this offensive powerhouse where Patrick Mahomes, does all of this like and one style football play, right? Like that's what we're used to. And this year it's actually been their defense that's really been the strength of their team. They play really good defense. They're weak against the run a little bit. You can run against them, but overall they play some pretty good defense. And I think the fact that you still have Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce on that team, and Pacheco is really starting to find himself. He's become a good weapon. I think that they're not the team that's going to come out every week and put 35, 40 up on you, but if they need to, they got the pieces to really, they can go blow for blow with you if they need to. So it's just not the game plan this year because they have a good defense. They're purposely trying to win games a certain way, but when they get into games, when they got to go blow for blow, they know they got that quarterback that they can get the keys to and say, go ahead and do your thing and let's make it happen. So I think, honestly, I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game like most of us will probably want. I think it's going to be a defensive game where whoever runs the ball the best will be able to win this game. So for that reason, I like the Bills. I think James Cook right now is playing ball. I think he's hooping. But at the same time, Pacheco's on the injury report. He didn't practice today, so I don't know. But Pacheco's a hooper too. Like he got some games this week. Yeah. So and the Bills give up run. Like we give up big plays to to some running backs this season, and it's go back to Travis Etienne. You go back to week 1, Breece Hall destroyed us, and so we just give up. We give up big plays against the run. So whoever can stop the run will win this game.
Bad Sturrows.
Yeah, no, man. I think the Bills can win this game. If I had to give you a score, 29-20 Bills, but there's a couple of key things that you got to look at. Donovan Smith probably won't play this week. They're going to be without Brian Cook, their starting safety. We don't know if the middle linebacker Nick Bolton is going to be playing. They got another linebacker out. Forgot the kid's name, but he's going to
Galifianakis or whatever his name is. Is that what you're talking about?
no, yeah, I can't remember his name right now,
Tranquil.
but Drew Tranquil.
Oh,
Thank
there
you.
you go.
So
Concussion.
yeah, I mean, I just think the Bills need to come out and attack. Don't come out here with no conservative BS game plan. Come out and attack these boys. You kick them when they're down. Kick them when they're down. So again, the Bills play the best when their backs are against the wall. I think they're gonna, if you can, like Spence said, if you can kind of limit Pacheco, I think you got people who can man up with Travis Kelce, right?
Mhm.
Poyer, Hyde can at least do that. They can do that.
I think Bernard could
I
stay
think,
with him too.
yeah. So I think you'll be fine. I don't want to make this we just can't beat the Chiefs. No, we're gonna smoke the Chiefs. It's 29-20. Look, man, I think the Bills, they'll win this game. And I'm picking the Bills to win next week too.
Okay, let's get it.
Yeah,
Cause
yeah, like Spence said, I feel the same way. Like Kansas City's not that same team and we've gone toe to toe with them when they were that team. So for me is like you said, let's go in there and attack. Let's go in there, foot on the gas pedal. If we go up 14 points, I mean, yeah, it's Patrick Mahomes, but
keep your foot on their neck.
Make them one dimensional. That's what
right,
you
let's
gotta
make
do.
them have to score points.
Yeah, I'll take Kelce out the game. I'll let Pacheco do whatever he gonna do.
Yeah, but
But
if Pacheco wants to run
take
for
Kelce out the
200,
game, and then it's over. You take Kelce out, it's done. It's done.
Yeah.
so I'm gonna go a little bit bigger. I like your 29-20 score. I'm gonna go a little bigger. I'm gonna go 35.
Because
I'm
let's
gonna go
get it hot.
35-20. I'm gonna go 35-20 Bills. And I really do feel like you said, our backs is against the wall. I feel like this game right here, false hope or not, I feel like this game we go in there, we do what we do, and it gets everybody back. Like
Yeah.
everybody's gonna be back. Like all the fans that are just fans with their heart, that are kind of like, I got a feeling we're gonna go to Arrowhead and put on a dominating performance.
Yeah. I'm expecting that too, because we always play the Chiefs good in the regular season. Playoffs, different story, but we always play good. I feel like it go either way, either heartbreak or we're just gonna beat them convincingly. Where it's gonna be 27-13. And
Like a couple years ago.
Huh?
A couple years ago when we went to Arrowhead a couple years ago
yeah.
and destroyed them. I'm thinking like a game like that.
Yeah, a convincingly win. I'm not gonna say we're gonna wipe them or destroy them or mop them or nothing like that. I got to convince them win. So we're gonna dive into the hot spices. I want some hot takes, offense and defense. Offensively, I really feel like it's going to be. I mean, it could be anybody's game, but I feel like Josh Allen definitely gonna step out. Maybe Gabe Davis definitely gets like a 100-yard game, but I mean, I don't know. I'm gonna give it to Gabe Davis because we got Joe Brady in the building. He's revamping this offense. Two 30-point games under Joe Brady. Only 2 games throughout the whole entire season. So, I mean, I'm gonna give it to Gabe Davis, man. I got him for about over 100. I say like around 10 targets, 8 receptions. And Kincaid, he gonna be a dog too. So I got Kincaid for a monster yard. Defensive wise, I want Vaughn to step out, especially out of this whole legal situation. Put your anger on the field. I mean, everybody says that. I don't know. AJ Epnesa. I got AJ Epnesa. Big game. What we got? Cause Heinz Spices.
See, I'm going to the other wide receiver, not Gabe Davis. I think Shakir has another big game. I think the Chiefs probably double Stephon Diggs. They try to take him out of the game, and I don't know, man. I like the way Shakir's look, and I just think he's poised for another. I think for this game, I think he's poised for a breakout.
I like it.
And on defense, you stole it from me, man. I don't think Von's gonna play well, but I think he's gonna get the game-ending sack. Like,
Oh wow.
I don't think we see him at all. Like, I mean, yeah, he might make a tackle here and there, but I think we see him at the end of the game get that closing sack that we haven't been able to get all year.
Sturls.
Well, I'm gonna say Dalton Kincaid is gonna have 100 yards receiving in this game and a touchdown.
like
I think when you are missing Nick Bolton, and Drew Tranquil, I think the middle of the field is going to be open, and Brian Cook. So I think you gotta ride Dalton Kincaid to this victory. He's going to open up the middle of the field. I think the Bills can really get this done if they focus on Dalton Kincaid. Because listen, every time Spagnuolo plays the Bills, they always try to take digs out the game. And we really haven't had, we can't depend on Gabe to step up, right? So I think you're going to see a lot of Kincaid. I think you're going to see some Shakir in there. They're going to bust this game open for the Bills.
Let's go. Defensive wise, high and spicy, man. Big play. What do you think will stand out on defense?
Oh, Leonard Floyd, man, going up against a backup offensive tackle. Are you kidding me? Like, God forbid the kid, I think it's a second-year player, or he might be a rookie. He actually might be a rookie. Yo, Leonard Floyd is going to eat that up, bro. Epinesa is going to eat that up.
Leonard Floyd's been a hell of a pickup from Brandon Beane.
So,
by far. Let's go, Spence. How you feeling, man? High spicy is both ends of the field.
I don't know if mine is that hot when it comes to offense, but I'm going to go James Cook, man. I think what it comes down to is I know over the last few weeks, we've seen the offense put up over 30 points. So we're going to expect Josh Allen to come out and really dominate. But again, like I said earlier, you can run against the Chiefs. And when you know that there's a dent in the armor, you go and you attack that motherfucker right on the head. So you going right to the dent. So you're going to get you're going to get a lot of James Cook. You're going to get a lot of Latavius Murray. Whatever running back is, if they activate Leonard Fournette, you're going to get a lot of it. Whoever's active is going to be a lot of that. And I do think you see Josh Allen run as well, but I'm expecting one of those games from James Cook where it's like, he runs maybe 70, 80 yards on the ground, and then he adds maybe 30, 35 yards receiving as well. I'm looking for that. And then on the defensive side of the ball, when you watch the Chiefs this year, a ton of the passes, because the receivers, they don't have the same type of receivers with the same type of, they're just not as electric as when Tyreek Hill when he was there. So a lot of the passes are screens, very close to the line of scrimmage, behind the line of scrimmage. I'm going to say this is one of those games where you're going to see Micah Hyde, even though these guys are getting older, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer losing a step. This game is going to play into what their strengths are right now. They're going to be able to be closer to the line of scrimmage. The area that they're going to have to cover to get to the tackle is going to be a lot closer. You're going to see big games from both of our safeties where, you're going to see stops behind the line of scrimmage. You're going to see all these play. I don't see these receivers dominating our secondary at all.
Let's get it. Yo, honestly, I'm glad nobody picked the same person. Everybody had their own people, and they rolled with it, and they had an excellent explanation. So, yo, man, there's some great hot spices over here, man. No, honestly, I'm telling you, man. Y'all want me to take another shot? Y'all
Nah, you're making me jealous right now, man.
No. Honestly, great podcast. Just as long as we ever run, man, we have so much to say, but nothing below to everybody. Sturls, J Spence, even T. Estell, nothing below for y'all making a timeout, especially y'all
Appreciate y'all.
Hours, especially T. Estell. She said she was dealing with a stomach bug or whatever. She'll sit.
Yeah.
Still rock with us. So that is love, man. Bills Mafia, please stand up, rock with my boys. J Spence, Sturls, T. Estell, please follow them, contact them, see what's up, man. Watch their shows, and man, let's get it, man. Go Bills. Let's make this run. Let's get it.
I just want to say thank you too, fellas. I appreciate y'all for coming on, man.
Thanks for having us, man.
Anytime, man. Yeah, anytime.
Let's get it, man. We right back to y'all next Wednesday. Everybody, Sturls, tell them how they can find you.
Yeah, Buffalo Rumblings, the Chop Up and Intentional Grounding, Buffalo Rumblings post-game show.
I think I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna start getting back involved with the Chop Up. I think I kind of miss y'all. I miss going up head to head with Poe because he be talking that talk. Yeah, I know, and I missed the argument. Me and Joe don't argue that much no more.
I heard the one time where you jumped in when Bro Poe ain't come in, so you stepped in and then he came in. Y'all was getting it in, so I like it. Man.
He stayed. I don't know what his thing is when it comes to, and shout out to my man. Like, it's all love, but I don't know what his thing is with Gabe Davis, man. He got this thing where he just feel like Gabe Davis is gonna show y'all, man, that he's incredible, and it's like, well, I'm waiting for him to show me, and then he'll have one game. he'll have a game where he'll have 100 yards and then he'll go crazy. See, I told you. And, like he go in. And then it's like you go 3 weeks. You go Cincinnati Bengals. He didn't have any receptions. Then there was another game. What was the other game? It was 2 games. It was like in the 3-game period, he had 2 receptions in a 3-game period.
The Jets game, he had no targets.
Come on, man. That's not a come on. So when he get into that, I gotta just I just try to be honest with him because I love him. I gotta be honest with him.
Let's get it. That's all it is, man. So there you have it, man. Another great best damn fucking Mafia Talk podcast out there, man. Tune in. Be right back to y'all Wednesday night. Let's get it, man.
Hopefully, we talking about a Bills W on Wednesday next week.
That's what we're gonna do, man. So nothing but love, Mafia. Please tune in, like, share, subscribe. As always, go Bills. And I love you, Josh.
Appreciate y'all, fellas.